beast of a car, isn't it? Look at that, that is a beast, man. Quite a nice occasion because it's a Mercedes, it's not a BMW, and I've never actually had one of these before. Well, I have, we'll talk a bit more about that in a sec. But yeah, today's video, I'm going to introduce you to my latest purchase, a 2013 Mercedes G63 AMG. A Mercedes G63 AMG. This is definitely a really interesting subject. Now, those that have followed me for a little while will know that I had one of these on my channel. It's probably about 2 years ago, but it was a G350 diesel. It had all the AMG bits on it, like the bumpers and the big wide arches, even the wheels I think it had. It looked really nice, but it had the diesel engine under the bonnet. It lacked power, it was a horrible thing to drive, and I just didn't like it at all. And if you'd have asked me, like even a couple of weeks ago, what my opinion of on these cars is, I would have said, I just don't like them, right? But now that I've driven the G63, so this is a 5.5 litre V8 twin turbo engine, 540 brake horsepower I think, it weighs 2.5 tonnes, it's a big heavy thing with a big heavy engine, loads of power. I actually really like it now. Now I'm very curious to see what people's opinions are of these cars in the comments below, because they're controversial, aren't they? They're a lot of money, like brand new. I think this car was about 120, 130 grand. It's now about half that, which is pretty good for a 7-year-old car to have only lost 50% of its value. So they are a lot of money, but they are so unique. And trust me, I don't know, the drive of it, we'll go for a drive in a sec. When you drive one of these, I reckon it'll put a spin on your thoughts. So let's go for a little wander around. It's got the AMG wheels, side exit exhaust, like what a feature that is. I love that. And obviously it bloody roars. We'll jump on the inside in a second, I'll start it up. Spare wheel on the back, reverse camera at the top, that's a spec option. In fact, let's get the spec up on my phone here. Thought I'd just spin the camera around so you can see my face as we talk through the spec options. So, you know what, that spare wheel's perfect little armrest, isn't it? That's brilliant, that is. So it's 125 grand new. Options included rear seat entertainment system, so it's got rear entertainment. That's really good, especially for someone like me who's got a little boy. You can just chill out in the back, watch a little DVD or whatever. Seat comfort package, I don't know fully what that consists of, but maybe the Designo package on the seats, so they're really like soft leather, or it could mean that this was spec'd with massage seats, which it does have, so it could be a combination of the two. But that's quite a cool thing. £1,395 that was, and the rear seat entertainment, by the way, was 1,985 quid. It's got a reverse camera, which I just mentioned at the top there, and yeah, that's it for the optional equipment according to HPI. But it does have other little things, like if we hop on the inside, these doors, by the way, like you slam them doors, it's like slamming a bloody metal shed door. It's got heated seats, it's got cooling seats in the front, it's got heated seats in the rear. What else has it got? What other little features have I noticed? That it's got Harman Kardon sound, that's also a nice option. And something else it's got, let me just spin the camera around. In fact, we'll go for a wander around to the driver's side. Look at them doors, man. Let me just show you them doors being opened and closed again. But again, you know, let's quickly go back to the door thing. This is a feature, this is like the carrot to this car, right? These were built in 1979, that's when they started making them. I think they facelifted them or changed the chassis of them in the early 90s, and this car is basically a modern version of that old car. They haven't changed them much at all. In 2018 they announced a new one, or they released a new one. They did make some changes there, but again they've retained that really classical look, which I think is so bloody cool, man. Like if you look at the new Defender as an example, which is probably a car that would get, I wouldn't say they're comparable cars because they're very different, but visually they're both big, square and ugly. But the new Defender, I feel like it could be almost a bit jeopardising to what we see a Defender to be, and I think the way that they retained this classical look throughout from back in the 70s, I think that's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, these doors, that's what got me off onto that subject. Just, I know I'm banging on, but you can see the hinges on the outside, and I don't know, yeah, the door's just a big feature, that's all. So, ignition on. This car has been, it's had something done to the ceiling, right? Check this out. It's got a Starlight Ceiling, which when I first saw that, I thought, do I like that? Is that cool? Is that a bit cheesy? And as I've driven it for the last few days now, I think that's well cool, and everyone that gets into this car is like, Calvin, I love that ceiling. So it's an Alcantara lining. They've done a really good job of it as well, so it comes all the way down here, and then they've put these little fibre optic starlights in. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Something else that I love in G-Wagons is the sort of, almost like a curtain, isn't it? Like a leather curtain on the door cards there. That's really nice. And also, let me know your thoughts on the interior of this car. Is it more modern than you thought it was? Is it like that handle there looks a bit very robust, maybe a little bit dated, but yeah, let me know, is it more attractive than you thought it was? Some of you, I'm sure most of you have probably seen the inside of a G-Wagon before, but I thought I'd just ask your opinion on that as well. Hop in the back, chicken and rice down there, and for sale sign. We're going into lockdown now. By the time this video goes live, we will be in lockdown, so ain't gonna be much happening as far as sales are concerned. What I'll do is, let me just start the engine, give you a little sound check. Yeah, that is a beast, isn't it? Sounds like an absolute machine. So what we'll do now is normal thing. I am on my way to work. We'll jump in and go for a drive. Now it feels a bit strange. Like, you're driving this big fat army stroke agricultural square completely unstreamlined car, and it's delivering power like that. Like, it's actually a quick car. Obviously it's fat and it's heavy and it don't corner very well, and whilst we're on the subject of cornering, this steering is the most out of touch steering I've ever experienced in a car. Like, literally, you turn the wheel, like if I turn the wheel there, them subtle turns, they're not subtle actually, they're quite big turns. The car doesn't even move. Like, you really have to give it an extra tug to get the front wheels to turn. But I suppose that's part of the parcel, or part of the character of the car. I do remember driving the diesel one, and Leon Daly drove that car. He absolutely loved it. For those that don't know, my brother, Leon is my brother, he's my business partner, and he loves G-Wagons, and it was partly because of that car. Daly drove it for a long time, and he just really enjoyed driving it. But every time I drove it, I was like, this steering, what is this all about? Now, they have obviously brought out a new car, like the new version. I can imagine that's a lot more refined, a lot better, like the interior is higher quality. It's the 4-litre V8 twin turbo, rather than this has obviously got the 5.5-litre V8 twin turbo. Definitely a more refined car, but they are, like I said earlier, they are double the money, man. That is a lot more money. I think that's really helped the values of these cars, because these things be holding money so well. It's unbelievable that they're still worth like, well over 60 grand. They start at about 65 grand. So yeah, they're an expensive thing, but then through some people's eyes, like, I've told people what the value of this car, and they're like, really? I thought they were more than that. So is it a lot of money? Is it cheap? I don't know. But yeah, it's what they're worth, and they don't seem to be dropping. So yeah, but the drive, from the driving point of view, that's my only criticism. Obviously it's a big fat thing to drive, but that's part of the character of the car. When you put the reverse camera on, it's great, it's got a reverse camera, but all you can see really is just a spare wheel on the back of the car, which is a bit annoying. Throttle response, you stick it in sports mode, it's very responsive, it's very quick. I think they do 0 to 60 in about, is that not a road closed sign, is it? Yes, Calvin, it's a road closed sign, which means, probably means the road's closed. So we'll turn around here and go back. I don't know what 0 to 60 time is. I'll put it on screen now. There you go. Feels like it's a quick car though. This big steering wheel, it's wicked though. So it's very different to the normal stuff I have on my channel. I've done a deal, by the way, with the M5, so I've got this plus cash for the M5, which was a nice deal, to be fair. I just didn't love the M5. When I got offered to get out of that and get into one of these, I thought, do you know what? I think that's quite a safe thing to buy. Obviously with the country going into lockdown, which in my life that actually hasn't happened yet, but it's happening on Thursday, I think. So when we go into lockdown, don't know, this, it won't depreciate, it can sit around. It's a great sort of lockdown whip, hashtag winter whip, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, if I have to hang on to it throughout the winter and get a bit of use out of it, I'm more than happy to do that. So sound, let's talk about sound quickly, because it does sound absolutely unbelievable. And this little private road that I like to use sometimes is a great road to have a little tear up on, but you've got to be careful because there are some horses and stuff in the fields at times. We don't want to scare any horses, but yeah, it does sound amazing. And again, I'm going to remind you, them little twin exhausts on either side, I think that's such a cool feature. So turn left, floor it again. Traction control lights flickering. Like, how is the traction control light flickering? It's trying to spin up the wheels, it's trying to lose traction. That is mad for a 2.5 ton car that looks as fat as a bloody army tank. It's just, yeah, it's a very unique thing, this, isn't it? It's a very unique experience driving them. Even when you see one on the road, like, I don't think seeing one in pictures or through a video, or even, you know, you look on Auto Trader or seeing one in the showroom, I don't think any of that does this justice. Because if you see one of these cars on the road, they've got an abnormal amount of road presence. They just look so different. Like, as you drive down the road, you'd think, some people might think it's a bit of a blender, it ain't going to stand out, but trust me, wherever you go in this car, it gets looks. A lot of looks are probably people thinking, is that some bloody mafia gangster driving that car? On that point, the G in G-Wagon, does that actually stand for the word gangster? Because if it doesn't, I think they need to really consider, or seriously consider, rebranding, calling it the gangster wagon, because this is proper gangster. You almost feel wrong being legal in this car. Like, I'm driving down the road like I'm just a normal guy going to work, doing my thing, but I feel like I should be up to no good, because this just looks like a bloody criminal's car. Yeah, not the sort of thing you'd do school run and drive to work in as a legal, law-abiding citizen would do. So yeah, man, that's my sort of update on the G-Wagon. I am gonna, I suppose not, I don't know, am I gonna be daily driving this? I've got the Alpha now. I think I should have announced that on my channel by this point in time. In my life right now, I've not actually collected the Alpha. I can't even talk about it, but I would have collected it and put that video up before this video, because the Alpha was a priority. I wanted to show the world that before I showed them this. So yeah, I'm going to end it as that. Let me know your thoughts on G-Wagons, man. I think they're bloody cool. Like I said earlier, I didn't like them. I was not a fan of them, but now that I've spent a bit of time in one, it's completely flipped my thoughts on them. I think, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just think they're so bloody cool, and I think if you're going to put your money in a safe place, which we all like to do, the way that these are holding money is brilliant. I think they're a good alternative to the new Shape 1, because like I say, they are absolutely mega money. Don't get me wrong, they're probably worth every penny. They must be an absolutely amazing thing, but value for money wise, these things are a hell of a lot cheaper. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I know you will anyway in the comments below. I'm now stuck behind a bin man, but I am going to end it here. I hope everyone's all right, by the way, because I know this video will be going up during lockdown, and it's a tough time, man. Like, all of this lockdown and COVID, I don't really know what to think of it. I kind of do know what to think of it, but I don't really want to publicly display or broadcast my opinion on it. But it is stressful for a lot of people. Like, my business will now be closed. Obviously, I'm trying to think ahead, because right now it's open, but on Thursday we're going to be closing Bin Car. We're going to stop buying and selling cars. It's annoying, it's stressful, man. So I hope everyone's all right. Please try and hang in there, man. Don't let things bring you down. Try and keep busy or as active as you can be. One of my life rules is just keep active, keep busy. You know, you've got to have some kind of purpose in life, whether it's going for little walks or whatever. I don't even know what the rules are going to be, so I can't comment too much on it, but just try not to sit around and do nothing. Keep positive, keep on it, and yeah, man, just look forward to 2021 and smashing it, man, putting a spin on your life, making things happen, and just be positive. All right, I wanted to throw that in at the end because I know that's really important. I don't know if that camera's moved halfway through this video. It looks like it probably has, but I'll sort that out in post when I edit this video. But yeah, thanks again for your time, guys. I really appreciate it. If you did like this video, definitely do me a favour and hit that bloody like button. If you are new to my channel, hit subscribe. I will try and keep the consistent flow of a video upload every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock throughout lockdown. Might be a challenge, we'll see, but I will try my hardest. And if you are on Instagram, give me a follow on Instagram as well, at Calvin's Car Diary. Alright, bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, this is also a very interesting subject, another episode of Subscribers Cars, and it involves this car here, a Ferrari 599.